what does Hayley do? Well, she goes to Dani's and makes a complete ass of herself. What is up, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers? Here to talk about today's Thursday, October 9th, 2025 episode. And surprise, surprise, the best episode of the week is thanks to Dani and Bill. And, I guess Hayley as well, although it was all this karma coming Hayley's way that was most enjoyable about today's episode. Because Bill is not taking this Dani and Andre thing very well. He is definitely struggling to come to terms with all of that, which I guess means that Dani's scheme with this whole situation of them not getting annulled is working. But it's nice to see Bill feel the fire of his ex-wife moving on from being obsessed with him, although that's not completely the case. But in his mind, that is what's happening, and he's having a hard time dealing with that. He has a private detective or someone following Andre around now, saying he wants to make sure that Andre's not cheating on Dani, or he's trying to find some dirt on Andre to break up that marriage to Dani. Bill is working overtime to figure out a way to cause Dani and Andre's relationship to crumble. He's having the guy look into some of Andre's exes in Europe, and in today's episode was having Andre tracked down. Now, at first, he thought that Hayley overheard him on the phone talking about Andre because she came in upset, but she was really upset with the fact that he's always working on these nights when he's home. Hayley's been really trying to keep Bill happy, I suppose, with the work in the bedroom lately, although that hasn't been working anymore. Hayley is definitely looking like a one-trick pony in this relationship. Maybe she'll start thinking that perhaps the whole relationship was just built on sex in the first place, because that is definitely the way it's coming across. Now, you could kind of say the same for Andre and Dani's relationship, but that's not completely true. Even though they started this episode in bed, we know that Dani and Andre do actually talk about each other's life, talk about each other's relationships. And I think what makes Andre and Dani work more as a couple is that they do actually care about each other. I really do think that. Dani even said in today's episode that Andre is a part of her getting back to her old self, and Andre was saying that they have something real and it's on their own terms, and he's never felt so full and free with someone. So they do continue to get closer than their relationship just being about, hookups. But after Andre left to get food, Dani was once again thinking about her and Bill's kiss at the office. So this is why I said earlier that Dani might still have that obsession with old Bill going on. But Bill is definitely the one that is now becoming more obsessive about Dani. He tried to use Caroline as an excuse to Hayley as to why he had to leave and go do some work. Hayley found that suspicious because it's late, so she decided to call Caroline and basically find out if Bill was really in a meeting and that if Caroline's the one that called him. And it turns out that's not the case. So Hayley catches Bill in a lie going somewhere else. So what does Hayley do? Well, she goes to Dani's and makes a complete ass of herself, thinking that Bill is there, going around the house calling for Bill. And of course, Dani's eating this up because it really is karma. And Hayley was on one too, yelling about the house, even called Dani a bitch at one point. But Dani threw it in Hayley's face that she tried to warn Hayley in the past, and basically brought up a callback from one of the very first episodes during the first week of the show. The past is prologue line, throwing that in Hayley's face that what Bill did to Dani, he might do to her. Now, of course, Bill is technically not with another woman here. He went to track down Andre at Orphe Jeans because of the person that's tailing Andre telling Bill where Andre was, but it still is Bill's obsession with Dani that's leading him to do this. So Hayley had the right idea, thinking that he was at Dani's, that his obsession is with Dani, but it's in a different way right now. But I loved all this karma coming Hayley's way, and I did love Dani being able to eat that up. You know, Hayley threatened Dani to stay the hell away from her husband, blah, 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 blah. And then when Bill came home, Hayley acted pissy with him. But what's Hayley really going to do? That's what I want to know. What is Hayley really going to do? She acted like a better villain in today's episode. So I'm glad that they had some fire in Hayley today. It's what I've been asking for from this show the whole time. So that was nice to see. But yeah, this storyline continues to be the one that's delivering right now, especially when you compare it to the writing on all of the other stories going on. I think what's making it work best for me is that this storyline really just has the most history on this show. This is what the entire first week of the show was about. Hayley and Bill marrying because he had that affair with Hayley under Dani's nose, and now we are getting to see the tables turn on Hayley and Bill, frankly, because Bill is looking like a fool too, confronting Andre at Orphe Jeans. Andre had some great lines today, throwing shit back in Bill's face. Bill tried to call Andre a gold digger, and Andre basically said it's not about Dani's money, that he believes Dani's a beautiful woman, and that it would take a damn fool to kick Dani to the curb. And then when Bill threatened Andre that he better not hurt Dani, Andre said that was Bill's deal, which is true. So yeah, Bill and Hayley today, not looking so hot, and I'm loving it. The rest of the show, still not my favorite stuff going on. I'm really tired of the Vanessa Joey stuff. I just am. And Jacob and Donnell are not helping the story any. Joey just continues to play it off that the reason they walked in on him and Vanessa kind of looking close was because he saw that she needed some company and he wanted to keep her company. We have Donnell feeling guilty that he made Vanessa watch the surveillance of Doug, and Joey went on and on about his mom and how his mom was addicted to plastic surgery and that's what led to her death, trying to tie that to Doug's addictions. The worst part of these scenes to me was once again Jacob. I mean, he's in these scenes just looking as dumb as he is, just sitting there. I don't know if he said a word all episode, and if he did, it was like one or two words, just sitting there listening to Joey and Vanessa. But it's looking like there's not a thought going through Jacob's brain, and I truly believe there's not a single thought going through Jacob's brain. We talked about it in yesterday's video about how he is not a good detective, picking up on nothing when he should be picking up on everything in this storyline going on. But today he just sat there like a mute with no thoughts. And then when Joey leaves, Jacob and Donnell see their very close embrace and Vanessa thanking him for everything. And yet still nothing said. So honestly felt like that storyline today was a waste of time. Nicole got some advice from Anita and then also went to give Smitty some advice by the end of the episode. It's just Nicole trying to make sure that Smitty and Martin really work out the problems in their relationship. I do feel like Nicole is kind of projecting from her own problems with her marriage with Ted. But Martin and Smitty seem to be back on the right track. They had their little date today, reminiscing of their first date, trying to act like this is their new first date. It was kind of cute at times, I suppose. I guess I'm kind of glad they're making progress and that Smitty wants Martin to move back home, so we could hopefully move these characters into new directions, because I do think much like a lot of characters on this show, Martin and Smitty do need a new direction to go in, and I hope that this is the beginning of them finding a new direction for those characters. So, well, everything outside of Dani, Andre, Bill, Hayley was kind of boring. That storyline was definitely good enough today to make today's episode the best episode of the week so far.